Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. As you can see, I have a very old, lovely as a tree stamp set with the old clamshell packaging. This has been in my collection pretty much from the beginning as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I think I got this in my starter kit. And that was back in 2010, so it's been a really long time. And I have to admit, I haven't used it a lot in all this time, mainly because I didn't think outside the square with this stamp set. So, but in saying that, this is retiring. This will be finishing up, I think, after 16 years in the Stampin' Up catalogue. So this stamp set's been around for a really, really long time. And this year they finally decided to retire it. So today I'm going to bid a fond farewell to Lovely as a Tree. I'll be using this image over here. And I'm just going to do something different with some more modern kind of colours and techniques to use along with this stamp set. I think in Australia the Lovely as a Tree cling mount stamp has sold out and only the wood is left over. So if you have been umming and ahhing about getting this stamp set, don't delay, because before you know it, it will actually be gone for good, which is a weird thing to say. As a demonstrator, I've never thought that this would retire, but there you go. So I'll be featuring this stamp set today, along with the rectangle stitch dies. And with that die, I will be using the largest die. So I'll take this out in advance. I'm using some basic grey cardstock. This was an A4. And then I cut the A4 in half and scored it back in half again and makes an A6. I cut off 1/4 of an inch off just the side there. So I'm just going to fold and burnish that score line. And I love grey. I'm obsessed with grey at the moment. Love it. I'm going to use some watercolour paper and I'm going to cut it out with this largest frame. So I'm going to bring up my big shot. And I'm going to cut it out. We'll just do this straight off the bat. Okay, I'll just put mine at an angle when I cut it. Okay, and that's it with the die cutting today. I'm not going to do any other kind of die cutting or anything overly spectacular. This is going to be a simple card that you can make really quick. So I thought it's good to do something a bit fun and quick at the same time. So this is just watercolor paper, as I said. I'm going to grab my craft mat. You can use any slick surface you may have. You can use your, you can use even a transparency sheet, anything. Sky's the limit. Oh, and also, I'll just give that another burnish just to make sure it really stays down. And I've also got a layering piece of Whisper White cardstock, which I'll put onto the inside. So it'll just sit there like that, but we'll deal with that afterwards. Actually, no, we'll deal with that first. What we'll do is we will stamp this image here down the bottom, and I'm just going to do a couple of trees. So with that, I'm going to use my basic grey, and I'm just going to stamp the last 2 trees. And I'll just stamp that off there. And I think that looks just lovely, just like that, right on the edge. Beautiful, all done. You know, there is another side, so I'm going to go on the other side now. So I'll start off with the Blushing Bride, and I'll just go in gently this time. Okay, I'm going to blend that out nice and easy and subtle, not so crazy with the colour. All right, wipe that down, wipe that off, and then I'm going to get onto the basic grey. Where's my basic grey? It was here a second ago. Where did my, oh, there it is. It's right in front of me. I'm so blind. Right. So just blend that in. All right, clean that off. Clean that off. Then I'm going to go Poppy Parade. Okay. Oh, that looks really lovely. I like that. All right. Perfect. All right. Then I'm going to get rid of that colour off my mat here, craft mat. Get rid of my craft mat. And I'm going to clean my brush. Okay. Okay, got that clean now. I'll bring this over, and what I'm going to do is grab my embossing buddy. Okay. And what I'm going to grab is my stamp set, Lovely as a Tree, an oldie but a goodie, and it's about to go, about to retire. So if you're after this stamp set, grab it. I know I'll be keeping mine in my collection, even though I don't use it that often. I will still have it in my collection because sometimes what's old is new again, and I tend to keep all of my stamp sets. So I'm just going to put Versamark on here to start off with because I want to heat emboss this, and because I'm using a wood mount stamp, this is the best way I know how to emboss in any colour. Even if I want to use grey or Poppy Parade or any other colour, I can do that. So now that's nice and wet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this down here, right? And then I'm going to pick up, and I'll go slightly up and to the side on the left there, very gently. So now you have like a forest looking there. Then I'm going to add my clear embossing powder, and I'm going to clear emboss that because with the Versamark underneath this will stick. Not sure if you can see that, but it really does stick to your image. Just make sure I get the embossing powder all over my image. Okay, so I have got now the embossing powder on this image. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to heat emboss it, and then I shall be back. I've just finished heat embossing this, and I love this that much more. I just love that colour. It looks completely different and almost magical to me. I just love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it on top of this piece of cardstock, and that really brings out the trees. So I just wanted to modernise this card. That was my previous attempt with a very dark blushing bride, and I didn't like that. So that's the beauty of these things. You can turn them over and start again. So And also, if you don't like the panel, don't destroy the whole card. Pull off the old panel and put in a new one. And then it works out really well. I could have also stuck this on top of the other one, but it would have been too bulky then. But I'm just going to stick that down, make sure it's nice and straight. Now the page is a little warped because I heat embossed it. So I'll just make sure I really stick that down. Just give that a little bit of a curl inwards and just help it a little bit to sit a little straighter. And so what I will do now is I'm just going to actually stick it down plain. You can add any sentiment to this. So I'm just going to stick this down directly onto the cardstock. I added dimensionals before, but I think this looks just as nice too. Mail's flat. You can use this as a birthday, as an anniversary, even as a sympathy. You can use this for any occasion. This is a great stamp set. Even though I didn't use it that often, it will remain in my collection. I think it's one of these classic stamp sets that's not going to die for me. I'll keep it. You know, sometimes things take a while for me, for it to grow on me too. But I have no regrets having this stamp set. I just love that colour, and I want to add some splatters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my spritz bottle. Where is it? I had it here before. And there it is, right in front of me. All right. So I'm just going to spritz my hand. Just away from that. I'm just going to do some strategic splashing. Okay. And I'll pick up a tissue. Oops. Keep knocking things. And just lift off that colour. And that just adds that little extra pizzazz and wow. Just bring that up closer in case you can't see that. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to leave mine blank. This is the inside of the card, which we did earlier. And then you can add any sentiment down here or up here, wherever you wish. But I just love the way that looks. So I hope you enjoyed this version. I think it outweighs the other version I did before. So yeah, I'll see. Yeah, I quite like this card, and it's a nice modern version to this gorgeous stamp set that's retiring. So the cling is gone, but the wood is still available. Grab it before it goes. You might regret it if you don't get it. If you've been umming and ahhing about it, grab it before it goes. You won't be sorry. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.